Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to the last installment. So who's that? Oma. Oma, nice to see you. You have to mute your mic. Okay, so so this is the last installment. In fact, this is the module 3 of the LOI training for this quarter of the year 2021. So we have LOI trainings in every quarter of the year. So happening from next month onwards, we'll have a new trainer for a new series of the LOI training. Okay, so for me, this is the last module which I will go through with everyone for this first quarter of 2021. Okay, so for today's LOI training, we are focusing on common objections faced. Okay, today's training, I will put the focus on TR90 because we are using this as sponsoring package as our sponsoring tool. So I will also sort of like gear this training more towards facing common objections from trying to get your friends or business partners started on TR90, and at the same time also on closing tips and also the follow-up. So hopefully it's useful to everyone. Okay, and then you can find that it's applicable for your business. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so before I launch into common objections, so I want to share with everybody, and I also want to pose this question to everyone here. Do you think that TR90 is a business opportunity? Okay. Okay. Who's that? Okay. Rosanna, everybody says yes. Okay. So in case there are new friends, I mean, for us old birds in the business, we definitely feel that TR90 is a big business opportunity, and it's a business opportunity not just in Singapore. It's actually a business opportunity that is worldwide, because obesity is generally obesity and also people wanting to get fit, is a trend. It's not a fad. It's not like, something that happens, not like certain fashion, it comes in cycles. No, in fact, obesity is a growing trend, and people wanting to get fit is also a growing trend. And this trend will just keep growing as well, because there will always be huge opportunity behind it, because there will always be a lot of who are seeking ways to get healthier, to get fitter, and to lose weight basically. Okay, so before I launch into this, right, I want to show you some interesting information that has been in the news lately, and is very applicable to TR90 as a business opportunity. Okay, I don't know whether you've seen, this is actually featured by CNA. CNA is a, Channel News Asia, and it's a very reputable news channel for us here in Singapore as well as in Asia. So lately, I keep seeing CNA talking about, the first one, they talk about local food calorie counter. So basically, this one, local food calorie counter. Sorry, that's my number one standing in front of me. Okay, so anyway, you can see that for them to go into local food calorie calculator is obviously because is to increase the awareness of people, in terms of what they put inside their mouth. And why inside your mouth matters is because all these translate to your body weight and your body size. So you can see that more and more information is being channeled into this, so that people are aware. People are not just blindly taking their meals and all that, so they can be aware and they can conscientiously make an effort to control the number of calories that they intake, so that they don't gain weight. So, and then the other thing, the other topic is about the GI. Okay, the GI values also, because as you know, Singapore, the percentage of people with diabetes is rising. So it's very important for people to understand what is the glycemic index of their food. So because you know that certain foods with higher glycemic index is, it means that sugar level is very easily released into the bloodstream and it's not good for people with diabetes. So you can see that all these things are geared towards health, towards good health, towards staying fit, towards being in control, basically. Okay. Okay, and then I don't know whether you guys watched this particular video that CNA. Oops, oops, oops. Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Sorry, that one is a guest speaker. Hey, Alamak, how to remove this? Okay, I don't know whether you guys watched. Recently, CNA actually, the reporter Steve Chia went on intermittent fasting for 2 months. It was quite interesting, like a experiment that he did, and then he actually followed himself through these 2 months of intermittent fasting, and he went to interview different experts in intermittent fasting so that he could have a good result. I don't know anyone watched this one. It was quite interesting interview, I felt. Well, not interview, it was quite interesting experiment, and was quite, I also found it quite helpful. Okay, so anyway, you can just, Google on this one and you can watch it. The interesting thing is he started off with the intermittent fasting. He did the 8-hour intermittent fasting. So what he does is that he tries to take his first meal at 12 noon, and then he then finishes off by 8 p.m. Okay, and in these 2 months, he said that initially it was very tough because he always had breakfast, and then he was hungry, he was cranky, and then he was also feeling low energy. Okay. At the same time, also he said that what is it? Like sometimes also it was difficult for him because he does all these TV shoots, right? So sometimes he's needed to work late nights, and sometimes he's needed to work early. So as a result, sometimes the intermittent fasting is not so flexible for him. But he was actually trying to fit it into his schedule. Okay, and then so I think at the end of it, he did lose. Okay, with the intermittent fasting, but I felt that his appearance before, after, right, didn't really change very much. Sometimes we have a lot of our TR, I work with a lot of people on TR90, and you can really see the difference when you look at the face, like the skin, the features are slimmer, the face shape changes a little bit, the body shape is for sure, I'm talking about just the face. Then, but I didn't really notice that so much for Steve. And then he lost, I think was 4 kg, 3 kg. Yeah, he lost 3 kg. And according to BMI that he did, right, he's supposed to lose at least 8 kg to be ideal. So he's still got some time, some way to go lah. So quite interesting program on intermittent fasting. Okay, you can watch it to get some information. And I think also if you watch it, you will see the value of TR90 also when you see it. And then you can see how complementary. I wouldn't say that if you're on TR90, you have to do intermittent fasting, but you can see that if you have TR90, how much it will actually support your body systems, even if you have been on intermittent fasting. And in any case, right, I have worked with people who were on intermittent and had stagnated. That means their body was not burning anymore. And when they add on TR90 to their whole, right, you can see that the body goes into burning mode again. So I can see definitely there's a whole big value of TR90 for people outside who are trying all sorts of ways to lose weight. Okay, and then another article that was recently featured, okay, was on this man. Okay, he went through a surgery called a bariatric gastric sleeve surgery, where they cut off like maybe 2/3 of his stomach, leaving just 1/3. Okay, you can imagine the stomach is longish back, right? So they cut off maybe 2/3, leave about 1/3 in size. So this means that for his life onwards, he can never eat a lot, because the moment he eats a lot, the whole thing just can't take it. And obviously, it's actually something that it's no longer even about mental control. It's just that your stomach blocks you totally. So I think at the same time also, if you have all this surgery, it also impacts your nutrition absorption and so on. But I guess because he's so heavy at 212 kg, yeah, I mean, this was one of the options he decided to embark to gain back his health. So, I mean, you can actually see, and in this article also interestingly, I think they say if your BMI is if your BMI is, I think is it in the 30s or something, you're a candidate for all these metabolic surgery already. But to me, I feel that, you know, all this surgery is very expensive. They go into tens of thousands of dollars, and there's a serious risk. And even for this gentleman, right, for him to embark on this surgery, his doctor wanted him to lose quite a lot of kg, you know, I think it was more than 10 kg before he could even go on this surgery, because he said that his risk is too high. So the doctor actually put him on a very low calorie diet. And then he had to be admitted to hospital so that he could be monitored. And then at the same time also, he was being manually, you know, it was like his exercise. Sorry, what was that? Okay. And then at the same time also, his yeah, even his exercise was by a physiotherapist and all that. So it's very controlled and very low calorie diet, meaning that he was eating very little, and he was obviously very hungry, but no choice, because the doctor said if he did not lose the weight, his surgery would be a very high risk. So he couldn't even be operated on unless he lost some weight initially. So anyway, you can see that, you know, this is all happening. All these news is coming out just in the past few weeks. In the past few weeks, I keep seeing, you know, a lot of information about, you know, empowering people to know how to manage their weight and all that. So I think this is really evidence to show that TR90 is big business. Okay, it's also about doing a lot of how do I say? It's also about helping the public. It's also about helping the community to gain back their health, confidence, a lot of things behind it. Okay, so I feel that this is something that if you're considering on for yourself to lose weight, you know, don't hesitate, just start, because you'll definitely see the results that you want. And if you're thinking about, should I use this as a business, I say go ahead, because there are many people that you can help with TR90. Okay. Yeah, surgery is not 100% success, correct? Because after all, we always say that the muscle, the stomach is also like a muscle bag. It can actually enlarge. But I guess if we could, we would try to use our discipline and all that to help ourselves to get healthy and not to go through such extreme measures. Okay. Yeah, have to suffer a lot to go through weight loss. True. Okay. Let me go to the next one. I want to talk a little bit on the consequences behind obesity also, because sometimes people think of obesity like it's just my personal issue. If you think of it like it's okay, I mean, it's just me alone having this issue and I can cope with it. Well, let's look at it, the consequences behind it. Of course, the health consequences is not just about being heavy. It's not just about measuring the scale and being heavy, because I'm sure everybody knows, right? When a person is overweight or obese, okay, there are so many health problems which can happen as a result. Like your blood pressure can go up, your cholesterol will go up, and basically all this increases mortality. So it means that the person is a high chance of passing away at a young age. And basically when you're young, yeah, I mean your life is really, your life is what you make of it, right? So you can make it, you can do a lot of things that are very fulfilling. You can achieve what you want in your personal causes and so on. But if let's say, you know, because of obesity and poor health you couldn't achieve, it's a pity. It's really a pity. Okay, and not just about all these hypertension, diabetes, osteoarthritis, sleep apneas, breathing problems, including many types of cancer. Basically a low quality of life, because I feel that if you know, sometimes I see a lot of my friends who are trying to lose weight, right? Because I work with people who are very heavy before as well. You can see that they are very tired most of the time. Even when they are going to sit down, it's like they feel a bit breathless. Okay, basically they can't do a lot of things without getting tired. And I don't think life should be lived this way. Okay. Even things like mental illness, like depression and all that. So sometimes people say that, oh, if it's okay, if you're big, you're happy. Actually, it's not true, that it has been shown that, when you are obese also, mental illness like anxiety, clinical depression, all these can happen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then not just about health consequences, there are also consequences related to the economy and society as a whole. So basically, right, if you think about it, if you have a colleague who is, poor health due to obesity and always absent from work, and it means productivity at work is very poor, how would you feel as a colleague? Maybe you would sympathize with your colleague, right? Because your colleague's health is not so good. But sometimes if your colleague is always on MC and you have to cover, you also feel quite, why don't the colleague do something? Right? Example, I'm just saying this as an example, okay? So these are the different types of consequences that people should just think about, not just for themselves, it's also as a whole, as a community, okay? And very quickly, I want to talk about, why do I want to talk about causes of obesity? Because I hope that you can see that it's very easy for people to gain weight. And it's very difficult for us to keep healthy weight, in fact. It's very easy. That means if you don't do anything, right, your BMI will just keep trending up year. And in fact, it's not just year on year. Sometimes in a few months, you gain weight so easily. That means why is it so easy for people to gain weight? Okay, let's look at it. It's about a diet high in simple carbohydrates, which is so common in our Asian community, because we are so used to eating, for the Chinese, noodles, all our, like carrot cake lah, not char kway teow, like the 油条 the I don't know what do you call stick? The dough stick, these are all carbs, and it's oily carbs also. Then for our Malay friends also, whenever I visit my Malay friends, they will have kuih, they'll have kuih, and then they'll have all kinds of kuih, in fact, very colorful, very beautiful kuih, and very delicious, but it's very little if you're trying to lose weight. Okay, I can personally attest to that, because all those Nyonya kuih, like all those the 9-level, is it called 9-level? The 9-layer kuih. I love it actually, but I haven't touched it for years because I know that it's very bad. It will cause you to gain weight so easily. And especially when you're older and your metabolism is going down. Okay. So so it's so easy for us to increase, because simple carbohydrates is around us and it tastes so good, makes us so happy. So naturally, if we take it and we don't control, and we're getting older with age, right, we're going to gain. Okay. And also, how often do you eat? When I was working in an office, right, I would eat very regularly because I got tired in between staring at the computer, reading all these documents that require you to focus. Your brain space out. So I remember that I would, it's either you go toilet or you go to the pantry, right? You can't just space out in front of your computer. So you got to do something. So I remember that when I was working, right, some of my companies had very filled up pantries. They had all kinds of biscuits, all kinds of drinks. So basically, you could really just eat a lot in this office. So when I was working in some of the companies also, I felt that I gained weight. Okay, because I was then I could attribute it to, there was one particular type of biscuit that I love a lot. It's you can buy from those local shops, like it's actually those biscuit with the chewy pineapple filling in between. Super nice. But it's super toxic also. If you eat a few every day, right, I can guarantee you your pants will start to feel tight, your shirt tight, everything tight. And before you know it, you change your wardrobe already. And you won't even know, because and then you cannot quit already because you're so addicted to eating that thing in between, It's your brain also. Okay, then it's so easy for people to overeat. Okay, even things like genetics, yeah, where's my slide? Hang on. Yeah, physical inactivity. Imagine if you work in the office, right? Later I'll show you some slides. If you're working in the office and basically you are at your desk, yeah, you burn very little calories. You type on the computer, you use your brain. It's not physical. So in fact, whatever you're eating far exceeds what you're burning. So that's why you're gaining also. And basically, it's very common for people to overeat. Just like when I was talking about frequency of eating, right? I said that because I was spaced, I need to, I need to sort of like break the consent. Means I was getting tired from reading all the documents, and I need to take a break, and then I go and pantry. That's overeating also. At the same time, also you have things like genetics, and it turns out that there are people who are likely to develop obesity if you have a parent or both your parents are obese. So you can see that quite it's quite dangerous, because now as more people are gaining weight, it would seem that they would have children. Yeah, that will carry the genes to gain weight as well. So that's really bad. So I think that if you're also thinking to have children and all that, so keep your body healthy so that you can pass on good genes to your kids, so that they also have a better chance at staying fit throughout their life. Okay. Even taking some medications can cause you to gain weight. It's very common. Okay, a lot of medications listed here. Okay, psychological factors, also stress. Yeah, I would say that people nowadays are very stressed. Students are stressed from exams. Teachers are stressed from setting papers. If whatever work you are, there's stress. There's no such thing as no stress. Okay, so we live in a very stressful environment today, and that's actually also changing a lot of our psychology inside and making us eat more. Okay, then even having certain diseases, okay, can make you more likely to put on weight. This polycystic ovary syndrome is very common in ladies, in fact. So I have friends also who have this. I've encountered a few ladies, in fact, with POS, and yeah, basically they have some issue. They may have issues conceiving as well. Okay, but yeah, I mean, all these can actually lead to obesity. Okay, and also social issues. It seems that there is a link between social issues and obesity, because if some of these people who put on weight, they say, oh, because I don't have money to buy healthy food, or because I don't have a safe place to exercise and so on. I can't go to the gym because I don't have money. So it seems that there's also a link there. Okay. Okay, women also, hormones. Hormones can make you gain weight, especially during pregnancy, menopause. I've seen even some ladies whose metabolism is very slow to move because of hormonal issues. So so you can see that all these things, like childhood obesity, all these things, like what I talked about earlier about if let's say your parents were big and then you have children, and as a result, the gene in the child predisposes him to obesity. Can you imagine that if you have a child that's mildly overweight in the early 20s, there are actually very high incidence of obesity by 35. So basically, being overweight during the teenage years is even a greater predictor of adult obesity. So that's why it's very important as an adult, if you're a parent also, to be empowered to know how to eat healthy, to stay healthy, so that you can pass on this to your children as well. Okay. So, why I go through about, causes of obesity consequences are because I want to show you that, in fact, like I said, it comes back to what I said earlier. If we don't do anything active, right, it's so easy for us to gain weight. And it just happens to everyone. It doesn't, only a very, very small percentage of people are those that are really skinny throughout their life. Very, very small percentage. And if you really go and study the lifestyle of these people, you will notice that they eat very healthy or they eat very little. Okay, and also they are very active. So that's why they don't gain. So most of us do not fall into this category, because by nature of what we do and so on. So that's why I feel that TR90 has a major market, because it's not as harsh as, like, for instance, going on intermittent fasting, going on keto diet, or doing extreme exercise. It's not like that. And the best thing about TR90 is highly sustainable, meaning that if today, right, you went on TR90 and you are empowered with the tools on how to choose your foods.
Not much traction. Look at this.
you have this for you with you for life. And you can actually, that's why we have people who have been on TR90. Like we have a young lady who was on TR90 when she was very young. That means in her teenage years, like when she was 13 years old, she was already overweight. Then she went on TR90 at the age of 13. And now she's about 19, 20 years old, and she's never, she didn't gain. And in fact, she looks even better than, when she lost her weight initially around when she finished her TR90. She looks so good now. So if you can see that TR90 empowers you, and becomes a very sustainable program to help you keep healthy and fit for life. Okay, so I'm going to talk about common objections when you are trying to get your friend on TR90, and basically how I handle. So along the way, right, if you guys have ideas of how you handle and so on, you can just raise it in the chat group. And if I miss it, it's okay. I think our family will chat on about it as well. Okay, so just if you find whatever's helpful and you want to share, just feel free to put it on the chat. Okay, so before I go into that, right, I want to say that if you want to be able to handle objections well, you really have to remember when you're trying to get somebody started on TR90, you're there as somebody, as a consultant. So you should be there to listen and ask the right questions. Because sometimes, for all you know, right, to us, we feel that this person should be losing weight, but the person cannot see the reason why. Is that strange? So to us, we can see that, hey, if you don't lose weight, your health, all these things. But to the person, it's just they've gotten used to that state. So they don't see that they need to. So we need to be able to listen, and then we need to ask the right questions so that we can maybe inspire, or maybe we can trigger the person to think, and to have the desire in him or herself alone to want to lose the weight. Okay, then that's a more effective way. Okay, so the first question that I think I usually face is budget. Okay, I'm not sure if this is something you guys face also. Okay, so people may say that, oh, 2120 for a 3-month program is expensive. I'm sure this is not something that I alone face. Okay, so how do you handle it? Do you feel awkward? Okay, I want to say that before you can go around handling objections on TR90, you have to settle yourself first, meaning that you have to believe, and you have to have faith, and you have to know that TR90, why TR90 costs 2120, and then where's its positioning, and do you believe that it's for everyone? If you are not so sure of the results of TR90, or you're a bit shaky here and there, right, you generally agree with your prospect. If your prospect is expensive, then you will think, yeah, I can understand why she thinks it's expensive, that kind of thing. But you have to see the value behind TR90, and then you have to sort of like put it across to your prospect, and then you will see that then you can start to convince the person, okay, why this program is good for them. Okay, so first question I always get is, do I have the budget for TR90? Okay. Okay, Rosanna says I should agree with them first. But then, yeah, correct. Because of course, if we think of 2,120, it's not a small sum of money. Okay, it's not like $20, right? So we will agree with them, but we will like. I think Rosanna has said before, right? How much do you spend to renovate your toilet? Maybe your toilet is worth a few thousands, right? But how about your body? That if you don't have a good body, good health and all that, you can't even earn the money to renovate your toilet. So isn't it true that you should be able to have a much, much bigger budget for your body than your toilet? For your toilet spend more than you. Okay, never mind, just joking. Okay, so number one, people always talk about is finances. Okay, yeah, let me see. Give me a minute, huh? Make sure I don't miss out things. Okay, so sometimes when people share with me that we also never really spend for our health. Yeah, true. So if the issue is really truly about finances, that means it's just purely about finances. Okay, so sometimes I will share with them about installment plans. Okay, so You know, we have the interest-free installment plans, which you can put it across for 6 or 12 months if you have certain credit cards. So if you put it across in a 12-month installment plan, it's very affordable. It's like 170 plus per month, okay, to renovate your body, okay, and sometimes I will also ask people to look at it from, that means to take the money from their savings and not like something like, because sometimes people would think that, oh, it's a lot of money and so on, so they want, but actually they have savings which they don't want to touch because they feel that, oh, that's for a rainy day savings, so I don't want to touch it. But if you think about it, right, if you're at the cliff already and actually you didn't know, you know, because you're just looking in front, but you're actually at the edge of the cliff already because that's obesity, right? We're at the cliff. If you just take one more step behind, you're going to plunge, you know. Would you take out your savings to do something? You sure would, because it's just that you didn't see and you've been taking for granted your health and your body as a result. That's why we don't do things about it. Okay. And the other thing also I like to share about is TR90 as a potential income stream. So sometimes when people talk about, you know, they think that TR90 is costly and all that, I'll also share with them that, you know, when you start TR90, it's a small invest. If you position it as an investment, okay, this investment, you know, if let's say you're just doing a sharing, it's like if you share, like it's $100 per share bonus, right? So if let's say you share about 20 people, then you can actually get back your full sum that you put in to buy your own set. Okay, but if you think about it, if you share with 20 people, you become a builder already. So actually you have be able to take back that means your investment, okay, from the TR90 set that you put for yourself. So you can see that behind, so I usually try to tell them that, you know, don't put just TR90 as an expenditure. You know, for all you know, this one could become your supplementary income, and then it could eventually even become your income that is your full-time income also, because there's a huge business potential behind, like I shared earlier, because many people are looking for a chance to lose their weight. So I like to, if it's just a purely finances issue, right, I like to put it across. So either they can draw the money from their savings, which I'm sure most people will have that amount of savings in them. So if not, if they really don't have and they don't have credit card, they can't see the business and all that, then I think they should start saving. You know, you should start saving, you know, maybe in the next 3 months or so, 3 to 6 months, they should be able to save the amount of money to do something. Because I will share with you later the costings for all the other options, and you will see that TR90 is a painless, very simple, sustainable program to help you to stay healthy and stay fit for life versus the other programs. Okay. Okay, so the other thing about TR90 is the value behind TR90. So just now we talk about more like just, you know, in terms of dollars, the value of TR90, but what is the greater value behind TR90? That means not just about the dollars. What can TR90 give you? Okay, so okay, if you compare, just now as I was talking about, right, if you compare what are the options behind it means if you didn't want to go on TR90 and you're trying to lose weight, what other options do you have? So let's say if you think about slimming center, I'm sure many people have friends who have gone on, who have do you have friends who went to slimming center? I mean, I have some friends who went to slimming center and they've spent more than tens of thousands, and they didn't lose much. So some of the slimming centers, they will have some diet plan, but not say diet plan also. They will tell you to drink some juice, or they will, you know, give you something to take home, some pills, some juice, whatever, and ask you to drink it, and then ask you to visit the slimming center to do some massage treatment and all those things. But in the end, to be honest, right, yeah, they don't lose any. So they spend all these tens of thousands. So if you have spent 10,000 on a slimming center package, you could have gotten like 5 sets of TR90. And for sure, yeah, see, Rosanna has a neighbor who spent more than 15,000 on the slimming center. So for sure, I know of people who spend tens of thousands, more than 10,000 on slimming centers and who did not slim down. So what is TR90, right? The value is so much lesser. And I also say that TR90, if you step into a slimming center, it's a very stressful environment. There are all these ladies trying to close you for more package and all that. So I'm not sure if I want to be in a slimming center in the first place. Okay, so the other option, like just now, the gentleman who was 212 kg, surgery. Okay, we have lat band surgery, gastric sleeve, we have liposuction. Okay, so all these, I would say surgery, right? Typically, in fact, a gastric sleeve, I think it's more than 20K. So lat band, I think also around that kind of pricing. So I'm not sure, like I said, but even gastric sleeve and lat band, right, you can see that there are so much risk involved. And like what Dr. Taufik said, it may not be effective. Okay, and I feel that as humans, right, we want to have an opportunity to, how should I put it? We want to have an opportunity to have discipline and control. It's not like we have to go through a surgery to stop ourselves to be able to control our appetite and all that. So I think that before you get to that stage, perhaps you give TR90 a try first. Okay. Liposuction, so much risk involved. We have people who have died on the operating theater on the operating theater, inside the operating theater with liposuction, because when the doctor is trying to suck out the fats, if they're not careful and they puncture certain blood vessels, people can bleed to death. Okay, so it's a very risky surgery also. Sometimes people will say to me, I have friends who say to me, so many people have done it, they're okay. So why should I be scared? So I said, what if you're not the 100 people that's okay, you're the one that's not okay, lor? Then what's going to happen to your kids? Your kids are young. So usually people are they will keep quiet because you can never guarantee you're the, they will always say, out of all this surgery, maybe 0.5% or 1 or 2%, which is very low. But who can guarantee that you are not the 1%? Nobody can. So personally, before we get to that stage, I stick to something safer and effective. Okay, and then how about things like keto diet, intermittent fasting? I would say that this one also involves some form of discipline. Okay, if you see the lady who was sharing, one of the experts that Steve Chia was interviewing for intermittent fasting, she said, oh, you had to choose the right foods. You cannot overeat during your 8 hours of eating. So all those things, so it has a lot of discipline involved also. And if you want to do it, I think a lot of people, they do intermittent fasting. Maybe they can do it for a period of time, but once they go off it, right, they tend to gain weight very fast. Okay. Keto diet, we're not sure long term. Is it good for your kidney? Is it good for your heart? There are so many issues that are not answered behind. So I don't know if you want to lose weight, then later get heart disease. No one, right? The reason I lose weight, you want to be healthy. Okay. Okay, so exercise and dieting, I'll come to that shortly. Okay, and also if somebody needs TR90 but is just not inspired, the cost of not doing anything is so high because you can see the consequences, the health consequences behind it. If you don't, if people are not motivated to do something, I always feel like from your family side, especially if you have young kids, or you're the sole breadwinner, looking after parents, looking after kids, and your health is not good, quickly do something about it because it's not just about you. You are very valuable to your family, and not just about valuable as in you are working and providing. It's also valuable because of your presence. You'll be able to take care, you'll be able to love your kids, your parents. So your existence is important. So don't take care of your body and all that. Okay. One death during my working days. Liposuction. Yeah, that's why I'm quite scared of liposuction. I hear quite a lot of, sometimes I see the people who do, sometimes you follow certain certain famous plastic surgeons, right? They will show you the process behind it. Yeah, because I got one friend, right? She always tell me that, oh, if she do liposuction, she will suck the fats from the tummy and then put it in her boobs. Then like double, two benefit, right? So, but I always tell her, hey, I have friends who did that. No, I don't see any major improvement. I have a friend who did that. She went to do it. Then I look at her, it's the same. So I think, and she says it's very painful. She told me it's so painful. Okay, so I mean, what for, right? Anyway, this is not it. If you how many times can you go for liposuction? You know, how many times do you want to expose yourself to risk? Like I said, like, maybe you're lucky the first few times you're in the major majority, but can you always guarantee you're not the 1-2%? Cannot. Okay. So I'm going to talk about exercise and dieting now. Okay. There are people who say that I just want to focus on exercise to lose, or people who say that I want to diet to lose. Okay, so we see how tough it is. So here, just want to very quickly, there's a lot of information here. Okay, so you see, if you're in the office work, right, you're doing light office work. Okay, the first column here, right, is let's say you're about 57 kg, and for 30 minutes of computer work, you only burn 41 calories. Light office, sitting in a meeting, you only earn 49 you only burn off 49 calories. But you think about your lunch, how big was your lunch? Maybe your lunch was like 800 calories already. So you can see that in any point in time, right, unless you're really very physical, going out to do a lot of activities, okay, that means moving a lot, right? Chances are, if you don't control your diet, everything, right, you're going to gain for sure one. Okay, so even if you control your diet and so on, how long can you control? Maybe you can control and lose some weight for 1 month, but then maybe after that you cannot take it because of stress and you go on cheat days. Sekali your cheat days exceed, you know. Then after that you're gonna find that it's gaining already. So that's why it's very it's very demoralizing, because you work so hard to lose 1-2 kg and then you quickly gain it in a shorter period of time, because you know you let go of yourself. So you see, even for gym activities, right, say for instance you did aerobics high impact, is 30 minutes high impact aerobics is 210 kilocalories for 57 kg person. 210 is nothing, you know. One bowl of rice is finished already. So how much? Half bowl? One bowl, right? Okay, really say half bowl, but I think it's one bowl. She's tougher on herself. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, I think you get my picture, right? You know, even like weightlifting general, you know, for 57 kg person, 30 minutes is just 90. So if you want to focus on extreme exercise, eat very little, it's not sustainable. You can do it for short term, but not long term. And I can tell you that the moment you stop all these extreme activities like dieting and your extreme exercise, right, you're going to gain a lot more and you're going to regret even doing this in the first place. Okay. Azahar says I tried all on the screen except surgery. Nothing. Oh my God. Okay. That's why I know how it feels for people who are trying to lose weight, because like I say, right, it's like you work so hard and then you lose 1-2 kg, you're so happy, but then because you were a little bit not careful, you gain back 2-3. So it's like a losing battle. So that's why I think TR90 is amazing, because it really helps you to gain success in really small steps. Okay. Okay, very quickly about diet. These are Singapore food. So you can see that, you know, actually, I think mee siam looks very innocent, right? It's just some bee hoon and some soup, right? But guess what? It's 500 kilocalories. And who stops at mee siam alone only, right? You surely have one cup of bandung or maybe after that some snacks, you know, some kueh, you know. So that's why you can see even one meal, you know, it can easily be 1,000 already. Okay, so that's why, yeah, that's why it's a no-win situation, and TR90 business is here to stay forever, because even people who lose weight, they will gain again. So you know, these even your customers could be repeat customers, because we understand that if you're not careful, you gain, but there's a solution, a healthy, safe solution behind. Okay, bihun bihun is very good at absorbing. I think not just bihun, no, kway teow also good, mee also good, everything also good. So basically the carbs lah. Okay. Yeah, then even things like see all your desserts also. Okay, actually I love tau suan. It's just empty carbs lah. So yeah, you have to, huh? Chendol is very high, is it? Okay. Yeah, and then you look at your drinks, right? Your bubble tea with milk, with pearls, is like 340 kilocalories. Wow. I mean, and it's no nutrition inside. basically you're just taking empty calories. So you can see that's why, yeah, that's why I say that TR90 can do forever lah. Because all these bubble tea business will always be around, Dao will always be around, Chendo also, Mee Siam, everything is always around. So therefore, it's very complementary to our lifestyle, and it's a business that we can do for life. Okay. Okay, the next question I always get is, will it work for me? Because people always think, I tried many, maybe some people also, they tried many ways already. So they want to know, will it work for me? So my answer is yes, because TR90 is not like just your uncle tried it, it worked, or your sister tried it, it worked. No, because TR90 went through clinical studies. TR90 went through a whole range of safety, efficacy, quality studies to make sure that it's a program that works for all humans. So it definitely will work on you if you follow what your consultant says. Okay, it's guaranteed to work. Okay, it's because this particular program, it works on the genes. Okay, it helps you to make your genes go into okay, it makes the genes that were burning, the metabolism genes, be increased in activity so that you would have higher metabolism. It makes those genes that were like storing fats and all that, depresses them. So it makes them that sleep, so that you don't deposit so much fats, So basically, all these effects, right? And also at the same time, we teach you how to eat right. Okay, so that you, like I say, it's not about just being very strict on diet or that. It's not. We still need to have it in our lifestyle. Singapore is a very eating culture, right? In Singapore, people gather together, people bond with food. So imagine if everything about you is no, everything cannot, then maybe you'll feel quite deprived also. So I have a customer, a good friend, in fact, she's on TR90, and she says, if I have to quit food and all that, then don't tell me about TR90. She told me like that. So I said, then anyway, eventually she start. Then she start, then I did tell her to control that, and she said, no, that makes me very deprived and all that. But anyway, this particular lady, she has very good results from TR90. Okay, she's very inspired, but one of her secret weapon is FiberNet. Because whenever she says that she wants to enjoy food, she wants to enjoy all the nice food that she have with her family, with her colleagues. So if she's taking all these heavy meals, right, she'll make sure that she takes FiberNet, sometimes 6 capsules even, to filter out the fats, and it really works. Okay. Okay, so TR90 system, right, it's not just about advanced products. So just now I talked about the science, which is the advanced products. We also have a simple and powerful eating plan. So way before HPB said quarter, quarter, half plate. Have you all heard on radio? They keep singing quarter, quarter, half plate. That one. So way before HPB say about this thing, we were already teaching people how to eat. Back in, I think, even in TRA times, I can't remember when. 2007, we were already telling people, your fistful, so your plate comes out with a nice quarter, about fistful of veg, fistful of protein, slightly less fistful of carbs, and then you have a serving of fruit. So we are forerunners, in fact. Okay, so now HPB is saying do this. Okay, when we were already telling people to do this so long ago. Okay, and then active lifestyle, very simple. You don't even have to be exercise crazy for TR90. Just 3 times a week, half an hour each time. Okay, and then and then each time make sure that your heart rate increases to about more than 130 beats. Okay. The reason why is because basically, if you saw just now my slide, right, about if you're working in office, right, our physical level is so low. So therefore, you just need we need to help our body a little bit by boosting the activity level up, so that our body goes into a faster burn mode. And of course, in TR90, we already have things like jump start and all that, which already helps us. It's actually priming our body to go into burn mode. So that's why we ask you to go to do those exercises, so that it's very complementary. Okay, it's very complementary, and it really helps you the results that you want. What are you doing here? Hello, boy. What are you doing here? Come. What are you doing here? Come. Okay, come. What are you doing here? It's very boring. Yeah. I take him away first, huh? Come here. Okay, come here. Sorry, I think he feels very bored. Okay. Huh? What's exercise lazy? Oh, Rosanna said exercise lazy. Okay. Okay, so another important thing for you, if people are asking about efficacy and all that, is to show testimonials, because we have so many testimonials of people who have, lost and become fit with TR90. Okay, we have, all race, all age groups, men, women, different type of profile, different type of, like I said, I have people who have been previously on intermittent fasting, then the results stagnant, then they go on TR90, then they lose. I have people who were always trying to lose weight, but couldn't, then went on TR90 and lost. I have also young people who is, due to working, starting off work, graduate from uni, then go out to work, then start to gain. So it's like we have such a different, and then we are a team, right? We are family, so we share testimonials, so we can actually borrow from each other, and we can show to our customers and friends, our prospects, and help them to make a decision to start on TR90. Testimonial is really, really powerful and effective. So after we don't focus too much on the science. You can, share a little bit on science so that people understand that this program is not like, we imagine it. Okay, it's real. Okay, but testimonials is the one that shows the results. Okay, so that's very important. You should have it in your phone so that you can show people, and it can help people to make a decision. Okay, then the next question people usually have is, can I change my habits? Actually, because sometimes people say, I love to eat, I don't like to exercise, they'll say all these things to you, right? So actually the question is, have I made a decision to lose? Okay, actually the real question is, have I made a decision to lose? Because once you make a decision, you can change your habits. Habits is just, what is habits? It's just something that you're used to doing. But if you want to change it, it's possible. It's not permanent. So the question is really, have I made a decision to lose? So if you have not made a decision to lose, you need to help them to understand, okay, why do I want to lose weight? So sometimes that's why you have to go back to ask the question. Remember I said you have to ask questions, right? So I ask them like, why, you have to go back to like, why do you want to lose weight? Is it, for your family? Maybe, like I said, if you're young, if you have young kids and you have your parents and all that to take care of, I think there are very powerful motivation behind staying healthy and losing weight. Because as you can see, there are so many consequences, health consequences for being obese. So do something early. How about for yourself? Don't you want to be healthy, active, and fit, and do the things that you love? Last time I heard, is it Zoe? She said if you want to do some, I don't know who, somebody told me that if you want to do certain activity like those sliding from high, is it? I can't remember, sorry. Somebody told me that if you want to do some certain of those outdoor activities, right, you have to be lower than a certain weight, then you can do, because maybe the harness or whatever cannot guarantee safety. So, if you like to do all these things and you can't, then for yourself, do something. Okay, then also about looking good and feeling good. I think that's a very important motivation, okay, behind trying to lose weight, okay, and trying to get healthy, okay, and also fashion. Fashion, I say for myself, because I remember at my heaviest, right, that time, I used to have to hide and wear A-line skirts all the time because I have very big hips then. So I always wanted to wear like those pencil skirts. They look so nice, but I couldn't. I have to hide it in A-line because cannot wear pencil skirts. Very scary after I wear it. I don't even dare to walk out of the house. Okay, and no pencil skirt fit me also. So that's why. So I think if you could, I mean, when you're healthy, when you're lean and fit, it's the whole confidence level and everything is there. So there's so many reasons behind wanting to look good and feel good. Okay, and so you have to help the person to identify, and once they can fixate on that, right, it's very easy for them to want to get started on TR90. Okay. Okay, then is it safe for me? I think this question is very easy for everyone to answer because just now I already talked about the science behind it. Okay, TR90 is already the #1 weight management. Okay, because of TR90, Pharmanex has been awarded the #1 weight management and well-being brand in Singapore for the past 3 consecutive years. You think about it, if it's a not safe products, you know, I mean, HSA will be popping up this product because so many people are taking it. Definitely, if there's side effects, they'll all come out and they'll all be highlighted. So if so many people have taken and been successful, we are #1 now. So I mean, indirectly, we can show that it's definitely a very safe product. Okay, it's a very safe system. And it's also on the physician's desk reference. The TR90 products are also listed on the physician's desk reference. So if you know the physician's desk PDR is basically a reference book that you can't pay to list. You have to show that your products have the clinical testing behind it, is effective and so on before you can list it, so that physicians in the US can refer to it and can decide if they want to prescribe it to their patients. Okay. Okay, so I think I mostly covered the common objections because no matter how it comes out, it can be into this category. Okay, so if you have some other objections that you have faced that you have probably you can type it. If I have time later, I'll go into it. Okay, but in the meantime, let me go into closing tips and follow up. Okay. Okay, when you're trying to close, right, the big tip is that you do not fear closing. I know that a lot of people, when I was starting in the business, I was very afraid of closing. I'm afraid of closing because #1, I'm afraid of rejection. #2, I'm afraid of people view me as trying to sell them a product. So therefore, I was afraid of closing. But now I don't have this kind of thinking because to me, right, if you start on TR90, right, the future is so bright. That means there's so many things that you will thank TR90 for because you started on it, because you made the decision to start it. So because of that, seeing that future for you, I'm not afraid of closing you. So I'm not really afraid how you think of me. You know, I'll try different ways to explain to you why TR90 is something for you to consider, whether it's from health reason, from looking good, or whichever, you know, or business angle, everything. I'll try to make it clear to you so that you can see, can see why TR90 is of value and you want to start on it. So, and also I want to say that closing is not a finale. What do I mean by that? Because you don't have to do your entire TR90 presentation and then in the end try to close. No, I always try to close throughout. Because sometimes even when you say a bit, the prospect is yes one, you know, but you didn't read the signal and then you go through everything and, you know, so, and also if you leave to finale, the danger is you didn't find out the objections behind you. You are just saying your own presentation. So that's why in the end, the answer is no. And because you already spent so much time, the prospect is tired, you're tired, everybody's tired, and then you just pack your bags and go home. No, because you try and close all throughout, okay? Then you can ask the questions, you can answer the prospect's questions on why he or she is having hesitations, and then you can settle it and you can lead to a closure faster, okay? So I always like to assume closure because I provide closing choices. Okay, I try to provide closing choices to help. Sometimes your customers and your prospects, they are also considering, but sometimes people also need questions to help them have clarity so that they can make a decision. So what type of questions do I like to ask? You know, the very simple one, the famous one I like to ask is, okay, so for the TR90 set, you want chocolate or vanilla? It's very easy. You just try, it's very natural. Then people will say that, which one is better? You know, so sometimes people will say, I want both. Then I will say, sorry, we don't have both. We can either have, we only have either chocolate or vanilla. So sometimes when they say they want both, I say, then try the vanilla because it's more versatile. You can add chocolate powder to make it chocolate. So something like that. So at least you're one step closer to, or buy 2 sets even. Agree. Okay, then, and also one-time payment or installment plan. So you can ask them, you know, so you want to pay one time or you want to go by an installment plan because we have some cards for you. So then at least you can lead the person steps to closure. Okay, and of course you want to pay by cash, pay now, or you want to pay by card. So another way to close, because if a person is not ready, right, they'll say, no, I want to think about it first. Then you think about it, then you can ask, is there something that if you're very close to a person, you can say, what are you thinking about? Can you share with me or not? If not so close, because it's a referral, but then they say, may I know, is there any questions that I didn't answer for you well? So that's why you want. So I also make sure that you have a very clear understanding, so that to help you make a right decision, something like that. And I also sometimes like to ask, so you want to start one set for yourself, because you do measurement. So usually, like if you do measurement, you go to the person's house, it may be you measure the person and the spouse. So sometimes I would like to ask, you want to start for yourself first, or you want to go for 2 sets? You all start together and buddy each other. So isn't it good? Then you can either close 1 or 2 sets even, like what Taufik says, right? Can buy 2 sets. Okay, so these are, you have to try to fit these questions in as you present. Okay, so and you after a while it's very natural. You don't feel that you're awkward or what, because you can really see when you ask chocolate vanilla, the person is thinking, right? That means they are very interested. They want to get started. They're really thinking. So when you're thinking, let them think and let them tell you the answer. Don't say chocolate or vanilla. Don't let the person think and give you the answer. Okay, respect the closing silence. Okay. Okay, that's for this one. Okay, then for those people that are really considering, that means you could not close them because for certain issues, because sometimes people are not ready, they cannot be closed. So we are not being pushy or we're not forcing them. Okay, but what I like to do, that's why I find that our TR90 duplication tools is very good. Okay, because we are professional. Okay, you're a consultant, you're a professional, right? So I always use this book, the Body Composition Analysis Record Book. So in this book, you will have important data like the date, when did you do this measurement, okay, and of course, all the stats of the person. Okay, so this is a very useful information because as a professional TR90 consultant, right? So let's say I couldn't get the person started, I'll say that, but I would impress upon the person that the person needs to lose. So the person may say, I want to try dieting first. I want to try exercising first. So I say, yeah, very good. Okay, you're not ready to start TR90, it's fine. So why not you go and try these ways? I mean, and I'm not shy to teach them the TR90 eating. I mean, we are sharing with them, right? Even though this TR90 eating is actually patented into our program, but we are not shy to share with people also. So we can tell them how to eat right and so on. And if they want to try it, then let them do it. And I'll say that, how about in a month's time, or maybe if they're not so comfortable, 2 months' time, can I arrange with you for another measurement so that you can see for yourself, are you getting nearer to your goal? Because I will also let them know what is their ideal BMI based on their height and so on, and how far they are from this ideal BMI. So it's very professional, the whole process. So I let them know so that they are aware. And then the important thing is I make another appointment. It's either 1 month or 2 months. So sometimes it stretches to 1.5 months later I measure. And normally, right, so far I measure, right, they do on their own, never lose one. Very rare. Got a few lose because they are very motivated. They really do exercise, they do certain gym and all that, then they lose. But these people also, it means that they are interested about health. And then we've got so many products behind, we have R Square, we have Life Pack, we have all these supplements which can support. It means if you're health conscious people, you will be interested to know what kind of other supplements, if it's not TR90, to help you. So this one could be your another prospect, another customer also. So you follow up accordingly. Okay. So if you do the proper follow-ups, right, you will notice that they can feel that that means it's not about just closing. Closing is like, you're not just like, I have to close it, I have to close it. They can see that you have their benefits. You're thinking about their benefits, and you're also thinking about how to help them. So they have trust in you, right? So as long as you can build a trust between you and the prospect, right, you can start the working relationship, and I'm sure you will have closure at some point. Okay. Yeah. They may end up getting, because no results on their own. True. Okay, so this is how I usually follow up for people who can't close. And of course, those that you've closed TR90, is so much, it's time for you to do what you need to do as a consultant and help them to lose. So set targets for them and then follow up them out, weekly and so on, to help them to get the results that they want. Okay, and then and along the way, share the business with them, help them to improve their confidence so that they can also have another career in this business opportunity. Okay, so with that, I want to it's the end of my sharing for today. So I want to say that for people who are haven't started on TR90, thinking about TR90, or even if you started on TR90 but thinking about the business, right? I want to say today, make the choice to take a chance and then watch how your life will change. So a lot of times we say, this is not for me, no, I'm not sure, all these things. Why not you just put aside all this uncertainty and just make a choice to take a chance? Because that's what I did more than 10 years ago. I wasn't good in selling. I've never sold anything in my life prior. Even as a pharmacist, I don't sell things. That's what pharmacists think. Okay, we work in a retail pharmacy, but we don't sell things. We just tell you this is good for you. You want, you take, you don't, fine. That kind of thing. So anyway, that kind of thinking. So but then at that point in time, I made the decision to take a chance, and it has really changed my life. Okay, so I'm sure it will be the same for you as well. So improve is to change, and to be perfect is to change. What's the last one? Change often. Block. Okay, so anyway, you can see that change is a part of life. So do not be afraid of change. And because when you change, good things are coming. Okay, good things are just ahead, just waiting for you only. Okay, so with that, I want to end my training for today. Okay, I hope it's been helpful to all of you, and I hope those tips you can apply in your TR90 business, okay, and help you to grow your business to another level. Okay, so with that, I will end tonight's sharing. And if you have any questions or anything, make sure to go back to your mentor, your upline, or you can also to me as well. Okay, thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you. Right.
Thank you.